Hi, this is Political News in 5, and today is December 11th, 2022. I'm Aisha, sorry. And I'm starting with Tinubu's outing at Chatham House and not going into whether it was right for him to delegate questions or not. We've heard enough. What's interesting is that Chatham House have invited Kwankwaso, Obi, and Atiku Abubakar to also come to Chatham House and talk. Now, there's several ways to think about this. Should they or should they not attend? The first is timing. Peter Obi, for example, is slated to be at Chatham House apparently on the 16th of January. That's barely 6 weeks to the presidential elections on February 24th. Should he attend? Is it a good use of his time? Shouldn't he be at home engaging with Nigerians? The second is priority. Now, Tinubu has shown us clearly over the last couple of months avoiding debates and town halls and invitations like that of the NBA to engage with Nigerians, but he thinks it's okay to prioritize an audience in the UK. The other presidential candidates can refuse to be drawn into this and use that to sort of differentiate themselves from him, pointing out that their priority is Nigerians. The third thing to think about is, yes, there's obviously value to engaging with the diaspora Nigerians and also with international agencies, officials, policymakers, think tanks here. And there's nothing wrong with that. Peter Obi has actually done quite well over the last couple of months campaigning abroad, engaging with Nigerians. But we should be asking ourselves, why Chatham House, which is also where William Ruto and Raila Odinga attended similar conversations in the run-up to the Kenyan elections in August earlier this year. Now, why can't we have these types of organizations in Africa-based institutions such as the Africa Center? That's something for all of us to think about. Second thing I'd like to talk about today is CBN's monetary policy that's unfolding and the implications for the elections. Now, many are pointing out that the restrictions on withdrawals on Naira and how it's going to be more expensive to transact in actual hard currency is all designed to try and make sure that we reduce vote buying during the elections. Now, there are several ways to think about this. One is this policy favors nobody but the banks. This 5 to 10% charge on individuals and corporates who want to take more than is their limit only favors the bank. And one has to think, how do we formulate policies in Nigeria, especially one that's so one-sided and only beneficial to a handful of people? The second is, while it's noble to want to tackle vote buying, we must understand that vote buying is a mix of psychology and our electoral process. We've had vote buying in Nigeria since the 60s. And there's a wonderful article by Simon Kolawole that everyone should read about it. Now, vote buying took place in the US and the UK centuries ago. It only stopped because of a mix of different things: electoral reform, better education, making it harder for people to steal votes, and also higher standards of living. Now, if we want to stop vote buying in Nigeria, we have to look at the entire electoral process, our education. And it's also a bit hypocritical to keep focusing only at the trade in votes at the polling unit level. Why are we not worried about judge buying and their influence in elections? Why are we not worried about police and army buying and their influence in elections? Why are we not involved in the INEC official and rec buying, which we also hear happens at the state level? All these are part of the trade and compromise of our elections and should also get equal scrutiny. Finally, violence and the 2023 elections, there continues to be indication that we're heading towards one of the most violent elections that we will have had in the past history. Last week, there was news that the 7th attack in 4 months had happened on another INEC office in Imo State. We also heard that IPOB has increased the number of days where they're demanding that residents in the southeast sit at home, and they're enforcing this with violence. Unfortunately, this will have implications not just to economic and social life, but also preparations for the elections, including, most importantly, ability to get our almighty PVCs. So let's hope that something will be done. Who benefits from making sure that people can come out to vote in any part of Nigeria? Those are the questions we should be asking, and demanding that the APC-led government does something to secure people's lives in the run-up to the elections. That's it for me on Political News in 5 this week. I'll just add that if you're curious about who is running for elections in Adamawa, I'm taking this alphabetically. We have APC, we have Aisha Dahiru, Senator Aisha Dahiru for APC. She has a diploma in engineering. We have for PDP, Fintiri, the former governor a governor and former Speaker of of the State House of Assembly. We have Labour Party. We have Mustafa Madawaki, who it's very difficult to find anything about him online, but apparently he tried to get the APC ticket before he moved to Labour, so he's a party hopper. We have NMPP's Saad Tahir, who used to be deputy governor for PDP's Ingilari, then he moved to APC, then he moved to NMPP. So this is the quality of some of the people who are running for governor. Let's scrutinize this group of people as well. That's it on Political News in 5. Have a great week ahead, and please, if you haven't done so, go out and get your PVC and be prepared to vote wisely.